There you go. Woo! Got it this time. What a
Yes,
time.
you did. And hello, hello, hello. How is everyone?
Mm-hmm.
We're glad to be with you again this week, and I hope everything is going well in your lives
I
and
may
in
have
your
to hold the mic.
relationships. Um,
But
we
all right.
are, we are Imar and Sare, and we are, yes, he is engineering today and everything else. And so
Ah,
he's, I guess you could say you're being a miracle worker.
okay. No, I
Yes,
just call myself wow.
yes, yes,
Oh man,
yes. That's
he's
what it
right now.
takes. That's what it takes to get a lot of this done. And so
Yeah.
we are just really glad that you're here, that we're here, and we have a wonderful special guest with us. She's been with us before,
Mm-hmm.
some time back, and we're glad to have her back. We'll introduce her in a few minutes. But before we get started, what I would like to do is read to you. Yes, I need to read to you our belief statement. We are going to relate. It doesn't matter what your mother says, your father says, your children, or even what Jesus says, we are going to relate. At taking the journey together, we believe in relating in a balanced manner. Balanced relationships are the ones that are entered into as friends first and lovers second, but has both aspects in each partner.
Lovers and who?
Friends.
Oh wow, lovers. Hey,
Friends first.
I think this will be a great time since we're ad libbing and someone says they love ad libbing. Well, here comes a ad libbing. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest. It's not like she has not been here before, but we're glad to see her back. I'll get a chance to see her now because I was so busy doing other technical stuff like April. Let's bring her in and
Let's
have her
do it.
introduce herself because
Absolutely.
we think it's better to let her introduce herself. You think
Always.
so?
Always.
All right, here we go. Oh, she is. Wow. I had to put my glasses on to see it. Oh, you look lovely, lady. You look very lovely.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right.
So, who are you? Why don't you introduce yourself to
Yes.
our listening audience?
Okay, well,
Watching audience. I'm sorry, this is the watching audience.
the watching audience. Okay, I am the sobriquet bestowed is Sister Latita. How about that? You can refer to me as a life consultant. I have many names, many, many names. But mostly always in search of, and you can fill in the blank. I'm in search of more truth. I'm in search of more peace. It's always more at the end of everything that I'm doing. I'm not ever satisfied.
All right. Oh. You know when you said that, you know what I heard in my mind?
What?
I know.
Oh, and I'm never satisfied. I can see him right now with his boots going across the stage. The doves. Oh, what?
When doves cry.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, he was such a great artist.
Oh, he was. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
he was. He definitely was. Definitely phenomenal. Well, we're glad to see you back. We feel the energy again. I'm also very much more happy because, hey, many times the Spirit does some things for me that other people think that shouldn't happen. So we got our notes.
Yes.
We got our notes. So we're going to start good the way I like it. And of course, from there, we're always ad-libs, off of notes. But I love the foundation of grounding that you can have in life, and you can walk on it, and you can dance on it, and you can throw chips on it, you can fly kites on it, you can fly to the moon on it, but you still got a grounding that you can stand on.
That's right.
So, Sharon, you told about a little bit about taking the journey, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I gave our belief
Give
statement.
a brief statement. Okay.
Mhm.
When was the last time you were with us, Latita?
Oh wow, about 7 months ago, maybe. Roughly.
At
7,
least.
8 months ago.
Yeah, at least it was a minute.
It was definitely a minute. So tell us some things that have been happening in your life, so good, bad, or in between, since the last time we saw you. As much as you want to.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't view things as bad. They are life experiences and lessons.
Okay.
For me. So there is no bad with me because I'm learning and growing with each moment. So since the last time I was on, the back is better. Weight loss has happened. Yay for that! Because that was one of those childhood things that I had dealt with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also going through divorce, which is another journey unto itself.
Mm-hmm.
It is a separate journey, but yet it intertwines with the journey
Yes.
that I'm on. The I switched jobs. I'm still in behavior health, but I deal mostly now with IDD, which is intellectual, developmental disabilities. So
Okay.
I'm more so with IDD now, still in behavior health.
Uh-huh.
As I spoke on earlier, associate's degree in liberal arts, end of about March, April, and then in the same year, at the end of the year, a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I may or may not go for my master's, so it just
Oh,
depends.
she is a busy, busy lady. A few minutes ago when you had said you were dealing with, I thought I heard you said you were dealing with Ivy League. Boy, I thought Ivy League people had their stuff all together, and no, you're trying to get them more together, or they're just so terribly torn apart. Their image only looks good, and you're fixing them in the background.
That could be some of those Ivy League people do fit into that category. So
Right? That is true.
Well, we put a word out for our professor, Dr. Fraser, to be here. He's probably busy.
yeah,
And he comes. You would have, and you will get a chance to meet him one of these times. And you enjoy him because he has the clinical psychology background. He doesn't
Okay.
have. He has a very strong clinical psychology, and he mixes it in with a holistic point of view.
Okay.
And his whole holistic point of view mainly is you don't need any medicine to heal because your body can heal.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I will have to let you tell him the rest because he doesn't do vitamins. He doesn't do what is it? What we do, different plant stuff.
right.
He really doesn't do all that. So anyway, we'll let him talk about that when he comes because he can say it, and he's lived it better than I. So that's his story. But because he deals with relationships too at the same time, using a holistic approach, we matched him in and he became a match to us. So we also see that in your relationship side, especially as a balanced, thriving relationship, you got to be concerned about your health too. I mean, come on now.
Definitely.
You got to be
Yes.
concerned with your health.
Yes.
Your health is a reflection many a times of how you feel and what you think about your own self. There's just no doubt about it. Plus, we know at the same time that your moods and emotions many times are actually affected by your very body itself. With thyroids, whether it's in turn you're getting that adrenaline from that fight to flight and standing still syndrome. All those things affect your emotions, and your emotions are the energy part that in turn, how can I say, speak very strongly to the energy of who you are too at the same
That's
time.
true.
So we have to be concerned of making sure that we have a good relationship between our body and our mind, or some people say that equals the soul. Very important. So we love to have him on the show. He kind of helps us out in that equation, if you may want to say. I'm still in the quantum theory area, dealing with relationships and how everything is unified quantum theory connection. But that's all right. I think it's very, very good. And on that note, we are going down that route about all things being connected. And we're going to start with a very great, what I call revolutionary brother,
hmm
that most of us, at least when he died, Ozzy called him the prince of what?
I don't know.
The prince of the ghetto.
Really?
That's what he
See,
called
I
him
did not
when
know
he
that.
passed away.
Mhm.
Ozzy
Ozzy Davis.
who did his funeral, called him, he was a prince.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a prince. And you may not know who I'm talking about by now, but maybe you do. If not, I'm going to give you his teaching that he gave, because a lot of his teachings, a lot of his ways, a lot of the things that he talks about, has a lot of it that was implanted in me. Taking nothing away from from Martin Luther King. I'm going to give it away.
I
Anyway,
think you
I
did.
did. I'm going to go ahead and give you a statement he made that was so strong and impacting to me from a relationship side that deals with the body, deals with the mind, and deals with your way of how you connect in the world
Mhm.
with people. So we're talking about relationship. He said this: when I is replaced with we, illness transforms into wellness.
Yes.
I'll say it again. When I is replaced with we, illness transforms into wellness. What a profound statement he said from our Chris. I didn't think he would make a statement. It just didn't seem like a statement like from him would be made that way. But that was a statement that he made. Let me ask you something, Latita. Have you ever heard that statement before or brought it before dealing with Malcolm X making that statement?
Not dealing with Malcolm X, but I've heard something similar coming up. Again, I have to go back to my great grandparents and things like that. And it wasn't even dealing with it. Well, not the wellness side. It was once Black people view ourselves as a we, the I factor won't even matter. We have to look at each other as a we factor, and that was from that standpoint. But that was very profound that Malcolm X said. Very, very profound.
And I'm sorry, Sharon. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just listening and thinking. I was just thinking about this in a completely different way.
Don't
And
let steal your
no,
thunder.
no,
Talk. Speak.
that's not it. I was thinking about this. I don't know, for some reason when that came up just then, and maybe it's because it's been heavy on me all day. That said to me that I need to send that to my coworker.
Why to your coworker? Why not?
Because she texted me earlier today and talking about how scared she is for tomorrow.
Without going in detail, why is that necessary? I think you should give a little background story real quickly of that so that people can understand. Why would she be sending this? We're talking about relationships with someone that's important.
Well, I have this coworker who has cancer, and she has an issue with a growth on her brain, and so she's going for surgery tomorrow to have that removed or for them to deal with it. And she said she's very scared, but she has her family around her right now. Her two of her children, and her husband and her sister, and so they're all there. And so I want her to relieve some of that nervousness, some of that anxiety that she's having, because she's been having it for over a week now, and that's well to be expected. But to something like this, where she's focusing on the illness and what can happen, to say, you've got all these people around you. Take that into a we, and focus on the wellness that's about to happen.
All right, I like that. So we're find out later on when you move from a place of only focusing energy on yourself, you'll find that your ability to focus also can be widened. And when it is widened, you find that you have even that much more energy to be able to focus your gifts and your skills beyond what you can do just with yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We got somebody here that is a watcher or one of our what?
One of our followers, I guess you could say.
You want to pronounce her name?
Faisal Asio, maybe?
Yes. I think, last time you were here, Latita, we didn't have too many, but now we're picking up on people who are watching our show. I think we get some that are watching us from another country. So, hey, wherever you are from, if you're from the United States or another country, please go ahead and chat or post in the Facebook where you're from,
in the
so
comments.
We can find out. In the comments.
Yeah, in the comments.
Who's the other one?
We have Araya Scott. Good evening with your lovely smile. We love seeing your smile there. Good evening to you as well.
And who's the last one, at least for right now?
Aubrey Fuller. You're right here. We're right here too. We're here with you.
Yep. Love that. If you're even in the United States, hey, make sure you say hello and say hi. Okay. Share too. Make sure you go and share with people that you know of, friends, neighbors. Even if you got some enemies out there. No, I'm just sure. I'm just saying. Share it with anybody and everybody that. Yeah, like the old preacher said one time to me, one day right now you may have to put it in the freezer, and then have to pull it out one day again. You never
Yes.
know. You never know. So let's get right into this. Malcolm is moving us to say, when we change from that I and replace it with a we can transform into wellness. If you notice, wellness starts with the what? WE, doesn't it?
Yes.
At the same
Yes.
time. So, what are some things that we need to think about doing? Because the foundation of a healthy relationship lies in the word we.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad Ali gave one of the most shortest poems they said ever
Ever.
produced.
Yes.
Ever produced. It only had 2 words to it. Have you heard that before, Latita?
No, I have not.
Okay, Sharon. Do you want to leave us in suspense, or do you want to tell us?
Well, I will take the suspense away and
Uh-huh.
I will say it. His poem was me, we. And that's it.
Mm.
That's right. That's it. Everybody was quiet when he said it too. They were like, "Come on, Muhammad, you talk a lot. You're always jibby jabbing, and that's the only thing you got to say."
That's
Me,
all that needs to be said.
we.
Well, that makes sense because if you flip me upside down, it spells we.
Wow.
And if you look at mathematics and equations, you put the we on the left side, put the me on the right side. Guess what? The equation still equals the same.
Yes.
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 And that's what we are going to be talking about for us to understand. That your relationship, when you make that relationship a connection from a friendship point of view, and you are moving with a balanced and thriving relationship between the two, you no longer are just an I. I didn't say you're no longer an I at all. You are no longer just an I. You have the opportunity. You have the right. You can actually move into a place from being independent to interdependent, and you can become a we.
Yes.
Because me is we,
Exactly.
and we is me.
Yes.
Now, a lot of us out here, I know, especially in the African American community, we do more of that independent thing. And we don't necessarily think of independence being connected to another person, unless the other person is independent. And if they are, we're not necessarily seeing how we can pull ourselves together and then actually become a we, because we're two independent souls. So if you do my thing and I do your thing, somehow we're supposed to just get along. That is a misnomer, because you can find wellness, and you will find wellness if you're in a healthy, thriving, balanced relationship when you move it to a we, and you don't just keep it to two individual people who are just occupying space.
Right.
I'm gonna ask Latita, what do you think about that? What do you feel about that?
See, listen, no, that's very powerful, because that was my whole niche. What was lacking was the friendship. And for me, friendship is key. Friendship, believe it or not, is intimate. It's sensual, not sexual, but intimate. It's sensual. You're sharing the depth of each other, and what is known as bad or what is known as good, and the differences with each other. And that's what's warranted. And that's actually what I believe. I know this is a speculative spill, but what I believe what is lacking in the African American culture is the friendship factor. And that's why so many relationships are ill instead of being well.
Oh, she said it.
Yep.
Oh, she said it.
She
Actually,
did.
Malcolm did too, but he didn't necessarily say it that way. He said it from a group point of view,
Yes.
specifically Afro American group, as you just started, Latita. Now we're making it into a macro point of view,
Mhm.
because all groups do start from a relationship. Come on, let's think about that. They start from a relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
So we can apply this to a relationship that we personally have? Are we operating as a we? Are we talking as we? Do we really think to ourselves? When I think about me, I think about her. When she thinks about her, she thinks about me.
Mhm.
Do we really do that in a relationship? Do a lot of us in a relationship do that? We can be honest with ourselves. Most of us do not.
And those who do, quite often they're not consistent with it.
Yes.
So it's an, I don't even want to call it an ebb and flow, but it's more like a shallow wave type of pattern, where today I'm flowing well, tomorrow and not so much. So today it's we, but I don't like you too much because you snored last night. So
You did, but yeah, she gets right on her back and she'd be calling the cows home.
if it wasn't for the air condition, I would be
Oh
okay.
yeah, right,
It was-
right. I really believe that too.
the air condition blocked my sinuses. So
Okay, okay.
But no, I agree. I agree with the Empress because it's a shallow movement. We've not learned. Most of us, I shouldn't say most of us. I'll say 30% of us don't have knowledge of self. So we move in the I perspective because we weren't taught about. They weren't taught about themselves. Am I making sense? They weren't taught about who they are as a person and how to navigate as their own person.
Mm-hmm.
They're always navigating from a facade of what they want other people to view them as versus being authentic. Am I
you're
making
more you're more optimistic than I am. When you said most people, honestly, I would go with the most people. Where you said 30%, I would probably flip that around and say 70% have no idea who they are. And they have caught on to this idea of fake it until we make it. And you that's not the place to fake. You
No.
got to know who you are, or you're going to be stumbling through. And you also have to realize that within that knowing who you are, there are changes that also take place within you during that time. So you have to keep up with those changes so you can continue to know who you are.
Yes.
And
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, because you're ever evolving. There's a continuity and consistency with change. Either you're going to change or change is going to change you.
Yes.
You know? And so you want to find someone that's a match or an ascendant version. I was telling my daughter, I deal with mathematics. Either that person is going to be an addition or a multiplier to my life, but never a subtractor or divider.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So you hope that in that equation, both of you at least know math.
Right? More than a hope, we're going to trust that they do.
I like
at least the simple adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Just
The
the
story. Do you know at least the story problems?
Right.
Yeah, the story problems are the ones that were hardest for most people.
I know.
Yeah.
That's how they were started. Most
I know.
math started with story. In fact, all math was really started with story problems. What
Well,
they saw, observed in front of them, and then in turn were able to make these kind of things called add or subtract.
Yeah.
I add my lions over there. I'm going to Africa. I'm adding my lions over there, and I'm adding my tigers over there. I put them together. I got lions and tigers. And no bears.
no bears. So, plenty of lions and tigers, right?
Exactly. So I could say that same kind of statement to someone in, let's say China, I'm just making up, and they can understand, lions, tigers, you put them together, nah, there would be no bears.
Exactly. Yeah, because somebody would be eating somebody.
Exactly.
But
Anyway, so this is a shift,
Mhm.
really is. We are talking about when it comes to thriving relationships and balanced relationships. We're talking about a shift. We're talking about a mental shift. We're talking about a social shift. We're talking about sometimes even a belief shift.
Mhm.
This shift from moving to just independent eyes to we is really a shift. Some people say it's a paradigm shift. But anyway, it's a shift.
Yeah.
It signifies that each individual has to be considerate of the other. I said the word considerate.
Oh, you used the
Oh
C
my
word.
God. I said each individual has to consider. You mean if you act more independent, you mean that you will not necessarily, you may not have to. Yeah, if you are all right and independent, you know, you don't have no obligation to be considerate about somebody else
Right.
in the relationship. Don't.
Right.
You don't have to. Because you're independent only about you, so you don't have to.
And that too is one of those things that is a misnomer.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're living life, you're interacting with other people, and at some point in time, you still have to be a we. You know, maybe not a we in a interpersonal relationship.
You mean in a long-term wise?
Yeah, I mean, you even if you are considering yourself independent and you work every day,
Mm-hmm.
you have coworkers. From time
Oh,
to
yeah.
time, you have to be a we with them.
Yeah, teamwork.
Yes.
Makes
So
the
you
dream
have
work.
to learn how to do that.
Mhm.
But then people still, they can do that just fine. Talk about the job. Oh, yeah, we did this and we did that and we did the other. And talk about their boyfriend or their girlfriend. And it's like, yeah, he did this and she did that. And I'm going to go and do this. And, you know, you walk away from the job and you leave that sense of working together at the job, and you don't bring it home, and you don't think about your partner that way, because one of you may be still hanging out with the boys and hanging out with the girls a little bit too much.
You did very good. You stole my thunder. You know, I usually use the work situation.
Oh, I'm
All
sorry.
of us do it together,
I'm so
man.
sorry.
But you did that well. And I know, Latita, you noticed.
That was the winging.
Exactly. Boy, it was good. I know you noticed that there are a lot of healthy things many of us will do at work to get that paycheck. But once we leave the door,
Uh-huh.
we're unhealthy as can be.
Yes.
Am I right?
Of course. And like she said, in the workplace and throughout life, you're going to have many we factors. So it's about applying that we, even though it may be superficial at best, but it's still it's a step towards the we factor. You know, it's a legitimate step towards the we factor. And if I may add, if I may add,
Mhm.
okay, I'm going to say this, and if the feedback, let it come, let it come.
Mhm.
No one can make you happy. They can make you happier. That's an addition. You yourself must be happy upon going into the relationship or the partnership. That's the addition. I my speaking of coworkers, my coworker, oh my goodness, her niche is, oh, I just need to find someone to make me happy. And I said, wait, you should, that's an internalized thing. That's an exclusive concept. You must do the work on that yourself. No one can make that for you. You have to do that for yourself. The other person is the addition or the multiplier that make you happier. And she looked at me and she said, you're always talking out here, but never where I'm at. And I said, okay, I just let it go. I just let it go.
I'm going to be a Nixon advocate right now. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Even though I agree with what you said. But how can I put it? You just put out the whole clown union, because many clowns are hired to make you laugh and make you feel happy. Now, then I'm going to be a little prolific on top of it. I just found out today, most circuses no longer have clowns.
Really?
Life on the political world has been so clowny in the moral and integrity world, where things that were right now seem to be wrong, and vice versa, and are done in such a way where it seems like it's clowning everybody. Circuses don't even have clowns anymore.
Wow.
Wow.
What's a circus without a clown? You go to the circus to see the little bitty car and 50 people getting out of it. You know.
Oh,
No.
wow. Wow.
Yeah. The fact has to do with, from what I heard, people are so sensitive that they are uncomfortable, feel shaken inside if they're made fun of. And what do clowns do? One of the things that you talked about, Latita, one of the things that can make you feel happy is if you learn how to laugh at yourself.
Yes.
If you learn to know that in life, you also are here to just be and observe all the beauty that exists here. When I first met this lady, Oh, the second time, I should say. Maybe third time. And I took her up on one of the largest and only
Glacier.
glacier in America. It's called St. Mary's. I'm looking down the board. I'm looking here. I'm sorry. St. Mary's Glacier. And you got to walk a whole long way up. So we stopped in the car. I opened up the back of the car, and she has shoes. I don't know, it's her car, my car, I can't remember. She has shoes.
It was your
It was
car
my car.
because I left my car.
Okay, so
For
what your
my
shoes doing
daughter.
in my car? Was you overnight or something? Hey, mom don't like no stuff
No,
like that.
it was
What
nothing
happened?
like
Okay,
that.
just
It
wanna
was
make
at the
sure.
last minute since we were going. No, it wasn't at the last minute. Since we were going, we drove to my daughter's, and I left my car there so she could be able to go to the store or wherever she needed to go while we were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had 2 pairs of gym shoes in the back of my car,
Mm-hmm.
and I just grabbed one because I would go to her house sometimes and we would go walking, and so I would just I had gym shoes in there. So I took out a pair of gym shoes and threw them in his car, and we took off. Unfortunately, both of the pairs of shoes were white, and
She just dulling the story to there too. She dulling. I threw the shoes on the ground. They were the wrong size. They were backwards, and
They
she,
not backwards.
yeah, they were. And she tried to put them on her feet. She sat down and seriously tried to put her.
No,
And I'm looking at her.
I did
I'm
not.
like, what the hell are you doing? Now, I'll be honest with you. The first thing in my mind was, oh man, this sister's going to be upset. She's going to be mad because she is not going to open up and be transparent from the standpoint of doing something wrong. Starting from my mom and so on. I never show that there's anything wrong with me about anything. I don't care if Jesus came. I'll still say, Jesus, no, you wrong. But anyway, and I was like, oh, here it goes. But then her eyes kind of open up like, oh, like you see that. And so we just bust out laughing. I said, girl, what the heck are you doing?
They both fit my right foot.
So I knew from there, because there's a point. I knew from there that if this lady, if this sister, if this being could laugh at herself, because it wasn't serious, but she could laugh at herself openly without taking it seriously, and then give me the impression I got to take this seriously. That I knew she could be. Here's the word, everybody. I knew she could potentially become a good real friend. I'll say it again. I knew she could potentially become a good friend. Laughter brings medicine and healing to the soul. I'll say it again. Laughter can bring medicine and healing to the soul. It's very important. It's a lesson you learned today. Laughter is important in your relationship.
Yeah.
Consider to let laughter be part of your relationship. If you haven't laughed in a while, if you've been sad, mean, mugging, as they say, young folks say, in your relationship for a while, you guys need to think about getting some laughter. Maybe you need to go down to one of the comedy skits that are going on.
Right.
Okay? Get some laughter in your relationship. It really brings healing. And we're talking about
Watch a meaningless, funny
healing.
movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember at our first beginning, and I'm spilling the beans too. She's not going to like it. We used to sit down and together watch cartoons.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
The old cartoon.
Yeah, the Bugs Bunny and the rest. I ain't watched none of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that new stuff is all about. But we used to watch it.
Yeah, we
cartoons.
did. We did.
And we'd laugh together. Sometimes when we drive, we'll turn to, if you got XM radio, they have many comedy stations.
Yes.
So we're listening to the comedy station and laugh down the road, and time goes by, and you build healing. Laughter brings healing. It brings openness. You then feel more comfortable to consider myself, to open up when it comes to things that are more serious.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Laughter can actually do that. What do you think about that?
Oh no, I'm in agreement with it all because myself, I love to laugh anyway. So that's just the nature of me. I laugh at myself. I will crack a joke in my head and laugh. Now my children say, "Oh, Mom, you're so corny," but yet it works. It works. So, and if you can laugh at yourself, and you're getting closer to the crux of who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said a key word, be. I love the word be. The etymology of be is to exist, because we do exist in this plane together.
Yes.
So the existence, you must know of your existence and know that your existence in this plane will change as you evolve. I consider myself now a granule of sand on the beach.
Mm,
Ah,
that's
ah.
where I'd love to be.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes.
She that you know what that means, don't you?
But
An oyster is waiting for her.
it's going to turn you into the pearl that you are.
Listen, the black pearl, the white pearl. My whole thing is you just don't choke on the pearl, okay?
Oh, we got some people to say hi to.
David Banner, hello
We see him back again.
again.
Good to see
Yes.
you.
Hello, hello,
Yeah.
David, and to everyone that I didn't get a chance to say hello to.
Okay. Who's this one? Sir, I'm watching. I
I
think I remember him last time.
Yes.
Islam. It was Islam instead of the
Yes, and I can't see the first name because
Arful? ARI?
Arful Islam,
Yeah.
greetings and obeisance to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think David Banner came back. He came twice.
Yeah,
He's enjoying
he
himself
said
so
he's
much.
watching.
All
I'm
right.
glad. We're glad.
Well, we are going to have to do something nobody wants, but it helps pay for the show and all that good stuff, which is we're going to have to go to a word share.
We're going to have to go to a commercial. However, if you just drop some money off in Cash App, we may not have to do the commercial because your support would help.
You mean this right here?
Yes.
Yes.
$ all things relevant on Cash App, and you can support and donate. $1 here, $5 there, $1,000 there. It'll all help.
Exactly. I'm laughing at the $1,000. So, I hope Julius is not watching this. He would not have liked that.
But
Sorry,
you never know. It may be somebody may be sitting out there watching this and think, this information is truly valuable to
It
me.
is.
And so I will, I just hit the lottery and I've got $1,000 extra. Let me just drop it on over there.
Exactly.
So, you could do like $10 a month with the goal being $1,000.
Mhm.
Whatever.
Well, we're going to go to our commercial while you guys think about that, and we'll be right back. And we are back. We are back. Oh my god! So you don't remember those commercials, do you?
No. No, I do not.
Yeah, we are trying to get some commercials together. So hey, if you start coming more and you will have a service or you have a business, whether it's yours or someone else, that you would love to be able to represent them as you're on our show, and you'll say, hey, I think you should support me as a business, to help me continue on and be part of the enlightened people to give information and knowledge on taking the journey together. So sponsor me. You can get that done. We'd be glad to help you.
So sponsor me, and it'll be a we
See,
situation.
notice they said it's $, all things relevant. Am I correct in saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, you all that are listening, $1, $2, $3. You're on Cash App, $5. Let's call it the snack exchange. Instead of buying that $3 bag of chips and
Ooh.
$2 Coke, put it
Ooh,
together and donate to all things relevant. We'll call it the snack exchange. How about that?
I
Oh, I
like
like that. I'm gonna put
that.
up again just in case. There
Yes.
it is again, folks. We love that.
Yes,
Love that.
do that.
I love it.
And as long as they have me as a regular, my schedule is free for them literally every Thursday. So, hey, we'll do the snack exchange. Let them know that you donated your snack money, and just maybe they'll give you a shout out on the show. And maybe, I'm just tossing it out there,
Awesome, baby.
maybe you could just say, hey, I would like this particular topic to be talked about. And they just may do that. Depends on how much snack money you're donating. I'm just saying.
I
I'm just
love
I
that.
love
I
it.
love that.
Yes.
When Dr. Frazier comes, I'm gonna have you bring that up because he probably has some ingredient he's mixed together in his mixology
Yeah.
that he would love to at the same time donate
Yes.
in this same kind of way.
Yes.
But you got to hear it from him. So I can't speak for him. That brother speaks for his own self with no problem. But he's a good brother. He's a good brother.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. We
Love
went
it.
to we went to see him a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
and
That's right. Even counselors need to see counselors.
yes,
Go ahead.
absolutely.
And we're coaches, by the way.
Hint, hint. Anyway, so we went to see him
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago, and when we walked in, he says it was in the morning, and he says, "Can I get you anything?" And Amar mentioned coffee, and he was like, "No, we don't do coffee." And he said, "But I have something that will wake you up even more than
Mhm.
coffee."
Mhm.
And he said pineapple juice, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that sounds so good!" But I couldn't have any. I am allergic to pineapple. And
Oh,
so, yeah. So I went with the water, and Amar had the pineapple juice, and I'm telling you, he was more alert than coffee ever did.
He said this was pure 100% pineapple juice. I love pineapple juice. So I start chugging. He said, oh, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. You will end up bouncing all over here. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but you bounce all over here. So
He said your body can't take that.
I know it. So I set it down. But I have to remember to see if I can get some from or buy some from her. Because that was, it did better than this whatever this thing is that we use once in a while.
The artificial bounce off the wall.
Yeah, 5 hour
Yes.
thing, which is mostly just caffeine. That's pretty much in there.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
And the effect that it had on you was such that I thought, okay, if I take that just a little bit, and maybe I can get enough of the energy level from it that I can take the Benadryl a little bit later. But the other thing is, well, no, I can't even say that, because when I found out I was allergic to it, I was eating pineapple, right? It's just like it was real pineapple. It wasn't the processed canned stuff. So
right.
yeah, I guess I probably better leave it alone.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Well, out of all this, we know that if you expand your social circle, it will help you embrace others' shared experience. I'll say it again. When we expand our social circles,
Hmm.
it helps us embrace other people's shared experience. Now,
Yeah.
they're asked, And you may be asking, why are you saying this when you're talking about this individual people? Well, I'm saying to you as an individual with this other individual in your relationship. Because if you were operating independently, you may not have been thinking about this other individual.
Right.
You may have been thinking about another individual at the job. You might be thinking about the other individual, the other girl on the side. You might be thinking about an individual as your mom or your
At
dad, your
church.
kids. But you would not really think about this as another individual. So
Yes.
all the other people, you expanded your circle, your social circles, because you wanted to share your experience and they're shared with you. But you didn't think about with your very partner, person you love, that you should be doing that also too, if not first.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And definitely first. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes there are extenuating circumstances where your partner can't necessarily be first, but those are dire situations. And I'm talking about like the illness of a parent or a parent who definitely, needs a lot of attention or something like that, where they may need to come first, like a newborn baby, or But under other circumstances, no, your partner should be first.
Spirituality, when we're operating at that highest level, thriving, healthy level, it's always a balance.
Yes.
It's always a balance. So your balance and foundation is standing on connection to the person I committed to.
Yes.
And if there was a scenario that you brought up, or a mitigating situation, then of course the other person is going to understand that too.
Yes. Yes.
And then the focus shifts. That same sharing of experience
So
then
the
becomes
we are focused on that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Focused on that extenuating circumstances. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. You let us know where you're tuning in from
Thank
Pooler,
you.
Georgia.
From Pooler.
Yes.
Who's this down here? Oh, that was Bernard. I saw him up there before.
No.
Well, yeah, I shot him. You just didn't see.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, good evening.
So what you all were saying, if I may just expound just a tad, when you're saying independent from one to the other, but look at it as a proximal state. You should, with that person in proximity, because you're sharing that sacred breath together. You're breathing within that proximal space. So they should be first and foremost. Everyone else is breathing the same antiquated breath as you are when you're going out in public. Okay. And, and you're all stepping the same. Even if you're running, you're still stepping the same. Believe it or not, you're still stepping the same. And just notice that people, you're sharing that commonality of the breath. There's nothing wrong with extending the kindness of a nod or a wave to bring them in momentarily, not even into your space, but into the global space of you.
Okay, you're going too far now. I'm putting my mask on. COVID's coming back. I'm sorry, dear. I'm not doing that. I'm just not going to do that. I hold on. Today, I'm not trying to scare everybody, but it's your belief system, how you want to do it. But today, our painters, a young black man has his own business, who painted a house for us, and he's supposed to come back and do something to our port deck. He had his wife text me back on his phone and said he's sorry he hasn't got back with me, because he's been pretty persistent on getting back with it because he's got COVID.
Well, the new variant,
wow,
flu, heavy. The new variant.
Yeah. I've had about 4 students in the last 4 or 5 weeks who've been out with COVID. They're out and they come back and they say, well, yeah, it was COVID. But it's
not the same effect as the first one, because the immune system is built up.
It's not the same. They are out, they don't feel well, and it seems to be hitting them quicker. It's like this one of my students, he believes he got it from work. He think he got it from somebody he works fast food, and one of the people that came in, he think he got it from them. And this was like on Saturday, and he was out on Monday because he was feeling bad on Sunday.
Yeah, they've said that because of how the herd kind of technique was used, whether people didn't like it or not, they allow our immune system to do whatever it does and it's supposed to do. That it may be delegated to being just another strand of a flu that we've
Well,
been used to having for years and years and years. And
so I'm going to say, I apologize. I have to say this, and I'm going to say this with all earnest. Wash your damn hands.
ah,
Wash your hands.
ah,
Wash your hands.
mm-mm.
Okay? I don't know. You people, when people got hand sanitizer and didn't get soap, that told me volumes. That just solidified what my grandmother told me about humans. Okay, so
Yeah.
wash your hands and wash your hands to the birthday song. It don't take much. It doesn't take much. And if you cannot wash your hands, here we go. I'm going to give you a recipe that will work. If you're
Mhm.
all natural, you're going to get some aloe vera gel. Okay, you're going to get some hydrogen peroxide food grade. Mix those two together. You have a natural antibacterial. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, and you can put in a little bottle. If you don't feel like washing your hands or you're going into the restroom or touching cans, I actually saw someone at a big major superstore. I'm not going to say their name, but I will say Wally World. Okay, and they literally had their hand on their backside and they picked up a can. I looked at them and I said, "What the hell are you doing? What if I wanted to pick up that can, sir? What if I wanted to pick up that can?" So please wash your damn hands. If not, carry a natural version of hand sanitizer. I'm sorry, I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
I know.
And that's one of those things that you
No
should
booty
not
juice on this stuff.
apologize for, because
What's wrong? I was
you just kind of slipped that one.
I'm slipping.
And
Oh,
it
they're
took
hearing
it
things.
took a minute for that one
They're
to
hearing things.
register.
I said none. None. I didn't say none. None. Ricardo, Ricky. I didn't say none.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Out the station.
But it is
Okay.
what you said is so on point.
Mhm.
People don't wash their hands.
Mhm.
And it's just, that's one of those things that, okay, I grew up, you got to wash your hands. You got to wash your
Yes.
hands. You got to wash your hands. Wash your hands before you go in the refrigerator. Wash your hands before
Yes.
you handle food. Wash your hands when you come out of the bathroom, especially. Even when it's your home bathroom, still wash your hands because you're touching stuff that carries germs.
Yes.
Yeah, serious germs. And you don't realize, you touch this, that, and the other, and then the first thing you do is you touch your face, you touch your mouth, where germs are just waiting to go so they can grow uncontrollably. It is the best incubator for germs, which is your mouth. And what you do when you have food and you haven't washed your hands and it goes into your mouth, it's still a place for the germs to grow. It comes
Yes.
out of the food and into your mouth. And I wonder how I got sick.
I wonder how we went here.
Because you
We're
mentioned
talking
COVID.
about relations. Now you're on the germs. And
Well,
hands
okay.
and stuff.
Okay,
That
then
was
if I am not washing my hands,
Mhm.
then that me is dirty. And what happens when I touch something that you are trying? I'm putting this together here.
I know you. I know you are.
What you are going to eat or whatnot, and it has my dirty germs
I
on it.
understand.
We are going to be sick.
yes.
Okay.
That's how.
Well,
that
when
goes
we
together.
get down to actually touching the wash your hands 101, which is 5 lines down, we'll talk about that again.
Okay. Sounds
We forgot to go ahead and tell everybody about ourselves too, which is why you
Yes,
shot that up there.
yes.
Because time is moving so quickly as we're having fun and we're spontaneously moving this direction. I want you to tell a little bit about where they can find us outside of here.
Yes, well, other than Thursday nights at 6 p.m. here on Our Black Media, you can find us every Saturday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on WRUU. You can go to www.wruu.org. and listen to our show. Well, it's recorded, but anyway, it's live. And so, or you can do go to rebrand.ly/ttjt.
This is our website.
Okay, the email is ttjt@takingthejourney-together.com. Facebook is www.facebook.com/ttjtogether. Instagram is www.instagram.com/takingthej-together. Take the J. So I think I got all that in. Website, takingthejourney-together.com.
Okay, taking the journey doesn't mean taking the joints, folks. So don't be thinking that.
Oh, I was thinking the jump.
Like
the
okay.
jump shot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong thoughts for that particular really. Now that we're almost back on track, we're going to have to do this again.
Yes.
And it have to be part 2. I was hoping just to be one show, but it looks like we just went a little bit further than what we did before.
Never, folks, just bear with us. We never do just one episode of a topic. Why? Because they're so important and so in-depth, we really can't rush through them. Yes, we do spontaneous things and talk and conversation and everything, but the information that we give requires that. And you do some intense research to find out this information that we speak about.
Okay, we're recording you now, so I'm gonna play it back.
Okay, but because it's true. It's true. You went to great depths for this, and there's no way we can run through it.
And I found. Now we want to real quickly, because show's almost over. We want to also give our guests. Hopefully, we'll see her again. Some words of wisdom.
Minute.
I know. I said 1 minute. Okay, you got 1 minute. I'm sorry. Go ahead, lady.
Oh, 1 minute? Oh, okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching, for listening, for supporting Taking the Journey Together, because we're all on this journey together. Literally, in a very literal sense. It segues into different paths, but it intersects together.
It really does.
Yes, it does.
So we want you to stay online once the show is over so we can talk with you.
Okay.
And everybody else, we're glad to see you with us. Don't forget, we'll be back again 6 o'clock
next
Eastern
Thursday.
Standard Time next Thursday. Until then, take care, Ashe, and peace.
And take the journey.
like that.